What up, YouTube? I am Dom Knight. This is Night Talks, and we are back with another Reaction Wednesday. Per usual, like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content. Hit the bell. Guys, we're growing here, and I appreciate each and every one of you. The goal is 250 subs by the end of the year. Huge goals from size of my eyes are on the prize. I appreciate the help. Today is a special reaction because it was actually requested by a subscriber. So big shout out to Core Gray for giving me the suggestion. So hey, if you guys suggest something to me, I will react to it. No problem at all. All right. So this is another Jubilee reaction. All right. I have not seen this at all. So this is 100% blind going in. This is, do all multiracial people think the same? Should be interesting. I'm not biracial, but I do know a lot of biracial people, and I know some of their thought processes on certain things and topics. So this should be interesting, and I'll give you my reaction. All right, well, let's get into it.
I do use the N-word, but I only say it when I'm around fellow black people, so my friends or my family who are black. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't look black, so when it comes out of my mouth, they're like, whoa.
She didn't look black to me.
You're mixed race, correct?
Yes, sir. I am mixed with African and Asian. I am more Asian than black.
My dad was from El Salvador, and my mom is half Japanese, half Jewish.
My ethnicity is Filipino and black. I do feel more inclined to my black side more than my Filipino side.
She looks 100%
My mother
Filipino.
is white and my dad is Iranian. All throughout high school, I just pretended I was white because I looked very white.
I am
looks
half
white.
Chinese, half Russian Jewish. I never really
Interesting.
connected to either side, just somewhere in the middle.
My mom is Jamaican and my dad is Australian. Being mixed race is a
Wow.
race, so I don't feel like I want to have to pick.
People think I'm hot because I'm mixed race. 3,
I'm sure that's a big one. I'm sure that's strongly agree. Oh, really? Yeah, strongly agree. Yeah.
As a mixed black person, a lot of people are like, oh my God, like you're like light skinned, you look so nice. Like you don't look like all the other ghetto girls. And I'm like,
Oh, exactly.
what is that supposed to mean? That's my aunt. Like,
Exactly.
On first dates, most of the time people be
Okay.
like, oh, no wonder you're so attractive, or like, no wonder you're so gorgeous. And I'm just like, ugh, I don't love that reaction.
I've always found like it's like just an awkward thing to bring up in conversation because there's like all the memes where like people are like, oh, did you know like I'm mixed or whatever, and it's like bringing it up in like the natural flow of conversation is always kind of weird.
I need to see these memes.
Have you not seen like the Logic memes where he's like, oh, I'm biracial, and it's like
Logic,
you haven't
yeah.
seen-
No!
He's
Yes.
just always bringing up how he's like half black, and that's like what the meme is.
Hold up. All right, yo. I'm a huge Logic fan. I've seen Logic like 4 times, yo. Big Logic fan. It is hilarious because those memes are funny. Logic, if you're not familiar with his music, this man talks about being biracial a lot. Like, it's definitely something big that was in his influence. But I mean, the kid can flow. He's a great rapper. But I just thought that was funny. I figured that's where he was going with this. But let's continue.
to say racial slurs as long as I'm part of that identity. 3, 2, 1, go.
Me personally, I do not say the N-word. I just don't. It just doesn't flow out right. But like for my Asian side, obviously I can call my like fellow girlies chinks and stuff. But like obviously if someone else said that, you get the fist.
I agree. I do use the N-word, but I only say it when I'm around fellow black people, so my friends or my family who are black. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't look black, so when it comes out of my mouth, they're like, whoa.
I try my best to only use the N-word around like my black friends just because it creates this like weird air when I'm with like white people. It's a slippery slope that I don't like to go down.
Probably makes them really uncomfortable.
And it actually, like, more than you think, it's not even uncomfortable. A lot of them think it's really cool, and then some people will feel entitled to do that, and then you just don't want to have that conversation.
That was me with my Asian friends. And
Yeah.
It's like a lot of Asian people like to go into black culture sometimes.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah. All right. This is a great thing to bring up, okay? Because you know, this conversation comes up all the time. You know, who's allowed to use the N word, all right? N word passes, I don't think they should be given out. And the reason I think that is because just like this guy just said, you start, he does not look black. This guy looks white and maybe Hispanic. Like, I don't know. He don't look black to me. Like, if this guy walked up to me and called me the N word, me and him would be having some words, because I'd be like, who are you? Just because that, especially if I didn't know him. Oh yeah. But I do think this is a slippery slope, especially when it comes to people like this, because yes, all three of these people are mixed with black, but none of them look black. None of them look black at all. So especially like homie on the left, he looks white to me. Like, I would think he was just a white dude with some curly hair, like, for real. Homegirl in the middle looks like a straight Filipino. And I know a lot of people, you know, they say Asians get an N-word pass or whatever. That's up for debate, but whatever. Chick on the right, I don't even know what she looks like. She don't look black to me. I mean, if she told me she had black in her, I would believe her. Like, that's not unbelievable, but this girl to me doesn't look black. So this is definitely an interesting topic, especially when it comes to the three people that are black. But mixed people use the N-word. Look at Drake. Drake drops the N-word all the time. All right. I mean, Drake is half black. So it is what it is. It's a slippery slope with that word. Let's continue.
I did get into a little bit of an altercation in high school for calling white people colonists. That was the thing. And people were like, that's a racial slur. I don't think it is.
That is not a racial slur.
Personally, I don't feel comfortable using any slurs. If I haven't heard those slurs towards me, then maybe I am not in a position to reclaim them.
How you pass is more important than your actual race.
Oh, that's a really good question. 50-50 on the Instagram.
Today, walking down the street, it matters what you look like. People are gonna judge you based on the race that they perceive you to be. When I walk down the street, people aren't gonna look at me the same way as they look at someone who's perceived as black. And so I just wanna really acknowledge the reality of that.
I wouldn't disagree with you at all, but at the same time, I think the most important thing is just how you grew up. Someone that has a black parent that doesn't appear black, they were still raised by a black person. They still everything that their parents' experience is passed down to them, whether it's through story or just through actions.
I'm actually gonna move over to this line, which is, I guess, more of a middle line, just because I can't do that. Then I'm here, never mind. So I'm on somewhat agree, because I'm an actor, and when I go into casting calls, it only matters what I look like, and it only matters what race they think I am, which is a lot of times white, but sometimes I'll get called in for things that are not my ethnicity, and that's because of my career. That's what's important with that.
I've tried.
All right, before they jump in this next question, I want to comment on that, because I think the both guys who were on the opposite ends of it, I think they both made really good points. Okay, because how you look, some people will treat you differently. Like, there's people who are, you know, Hispanic or, you know, biracial or things like that. They look white. Some of them look white, and they can pass for being white. So they will have certain access opportunities, things like that, that maybe they wouldn't have if they look more like what their actual race is. But they both made some really good points there. I thought that was a very good question. If you ask me, is how you look, how you pass more important than what your actual race is? No, I don't think that's more important, but it definitely plays a role in your everyday life, and it's going to affect your life in a lot of aspects. So very interesting. Let's continue.
To hide some of my racial identity.
Ooh, it's another good question.
Go.
Even throughout high school,
Wow,
I just pretended I was
82
white
agree.
completely. And there was a time when my dad picked me up from school. It was a whole thing, and people were saying like, oh, your dad's a terrorist. I had never experienced anything like that, or they'd ask me about it, they'd make bomb jokes, and it hurt to hear people saying stuff like that about my dad.
A similar thing happened to me, like when I was in elementary school. My dad came and dropped me off at school, and he's like a dark-skinned black man, and he's from the hood on top of that, so like he has a certain like aura to him, and a lot of people look at me like, that's your dad? And I'm like, yeah, that's my dad. And they're like, he looks so scary. And I'm like, why does he look scary to you? Why should he look scary to you? And like the only thing that's keeping me away from this strongly disagree is because when I was younger, I just did not accept the black part of myself, and now I do.
I just want to say I'm really sorry, like, to both of you that you felt like you've been put in positions to feel like that. That's just like such a terrible thing to tell someone. No, you can't be every part of who you are.
These past couple years, I've been trying to like reconnect with that part because I shoved it down for so long, and it's been really heartbreaking. The amount of Nowruzes I missed and the Ramadans I didn't celebrate because I felt so uncomfortable about that.
I think it's important you're taking the steps though. Personally, I've never tried to hide any part of me. That's always been like the biggest thing for me. Growing up, like I was always proud to be white and I was always proud to be black. That's just how I was raised, and that's always how I was, and I just wanted to be me. So that's what I did.
The reason I'm on this line is because Western beauty standards suck. They really, really got to me. I would be really picky about how I would do my hair and how I would part my hair. And then when I would post YouTube videos or Instagram posts, I would color correct everything to be really blue so that I didn't look yellow. And it was just like, I didn't want to post a photo of me outside because I thought my eyes looked too Asian.
Wow.
A lot of internalized things that made me hate myself and my appearance. And now I feel much more accepting of being mixed and being everything that I am, but I am here because I have felt like I wanted to hide a part of me, because it would have been easier for me.
I agree. Like when I was younger, I used to want to be lighter. I used to get made fun of. I would always get the question, are you adopted? You're not Asian. And it just made me feel so bad about myself that I just was so confused because I didn't fit in any single pocket of anybody in any friend groups. I couldn't hang out with the Chinese kids because they're like, you don't look Chinese. I don't hang out with the black kids because I don't sound black. And they say I'm whitewashed. So my whole entire life, I've literally battled with them like, what the hell am I?
Gotta speak on that. First of all, this video, big shout outs to Cora Gray. This is a very good video. I think they're asking really good questions here. I know quite a few biracial people, and they have all said this same thing, how they struggle with fitting into a category. Too white for the blacks and too black for the whites, you know? And that's how a lot of them felt, and they felt like outcasts. They really do. And I've heard some horror stories that biracial kids have dealt with. And it's like, hell, it's almost better to be like just 100% black than to be biracial. Not now, but like I'd say people that are around my age, you know, some people in their 20s, late 20s, they might have had some issues if they grew up biracial, especially if it was really apparent. Because there's some people that grow up biracial and they look like one race. So let's continue.
My races to my advantage. 3,
Well, don't lie, y'all all
2,
have.
1, go.
Maybe?
Like 77
so I feel
on
like
Instagram.
I just have to say that when writing college essays, every single one of my essays was about being half Iranian and half white. Like when I was applying for scholarships, that's what I would talk about because it was something that I really felt passionate about, but also that something that I knew would catch people's interest. And I think I don't feel guilty about using that because I think it's a double-edged sword and there's lots of repercussions for being mixed race too.
Well, I kind of interpreted it differently. Like, I haven't really abused my power like that. Like, sure, that is a way like that, but like, I haven't done anything else besides that on like my college apps.
So I don't know if I can do this, but maybe I'm gonna like straddle these two. You can't do that. Okay, then I'll like daintily pose over here. But like, my grandma was Jewish, and I did go on birthright, which is a free trip for people of Jewish descent. And even though I don't like identify a lot with the Jewish religion, I did get a free trip to Israel out of being part Jewish. So I guess that's like kind of something to my advantage. But I really loved my time there.
Hey,
got a
free
lot
trip.
out of it. Yeah.
Free trip.
Yeah, but you know.
I've like gotten like jobs for being half Asian, for like I worked at mostly predominantly Asian businesses, and as soon as I say I speak fluent Cantonese, I got the job.
But that's like a skill.
I know.
Like
it
you
is
can
a
be
skill.
proud of it. It's a
No,
skill
I
that you
love
have.
it. No, trust me, but it does get me job opportunities better than other people who are like, you know, white or black, who get the same positions, but they would hire me because I'm half Asian and like I speak the language and stuff.
Okay, I moved because I was thinking more about the question. When I first heard the question, I was thinking like, do I have any kind of advantage? And then I was thinking about how like being part white does give me some privilege and like some advantages, but I don't think I've used that for like scholarships or any of that. And I try to really stay conscious when I'm in like an Asian space to not take up too much of the space because of my whiteness, you know? Like it's like
But
it's a
still
fine
your
line.
space. Like you're still
Yeah,
Asian.
I guess I've always been kind of cautious about that. But thinking more about the question, I was like, no, I should be on this side.
The issue of racism can be solved by interracial love. 3, 2, 1, go.
This is from the audience?
Man,
There are way too many articles about
I'm with them.
an interracial couple where it's later find out that the white part is saying a racial slur about their child. Just to boil it down to like love, it really can't be done.
First of all, that. Second of all, there's a lot of, sorry to name names, but like a lot of white women who want to get with black men trying to achieve their light-skinned baby who's like just the perfect amount of tan with the perfect amount of curls.
Yeah, like raise your hand if you've heard someone be like, oh my gosh, I would have such gorgeous mixed babies. Like, definitely heard that, and we're all gorgeous, don't get me wrong. But that's super problematic to say, one. And two, I'm over here because like, there's like no one solution to racism.
Let me make it really clear that a white person having a kid with a black person does not mean that that person does not have racist tendencies or is not discriminatory at all. I love my dad to death, but sometimes he just says things where it's like, you shouldn't be saying that.
Plus, like, even in like a future, if like America becomes super mixed and like everybody's mixed, if not racism, we'll still have like colorism and different nuances within racism. It's not gonna go away just because people are more mixed. Like you can say like mixed people are the future or whatever, but it's not gonna solve racism.
All right, wait. Want to comment on that real quick before they wrap it up. I agree with all of them. They all went to strongly disagree, and I fully stand with that. Dog. Interracial love is not going to fix racism, okay? Just like they were saying, there's white people who sleep with black people and have kids with black people, still racist, say racist stuff. Speaking of logic, we were talking about logic earlier. There's a logic line. Ain't seen my mama in a minute, because growing up, she called me a nigga that would never amount to nothing. Racism from my own mama. Left home because of drama, because I can make it in the rap game. Look at Obama. He experienced it himself. Biracial kid. Logic almost looks white. His mom still calling him the N-word. Racist. All right? That's not going to fix a damn thing. So I agree with them there. They were all smart. And the Instagram poll stats were just crazy to me. I was shocked that it wasn't more on the disagree side. So let's see what they got on the wrap up here. This might just be it. Yeah, it's all done. We'll cut this there. All right. I really enjoyed that. Once again, big shout outs to Cora Gray for suggesting this video. I had never seen this, and I'm very glad I watched it. It was very interesting, and I thought they asked some really good questions here. Biracial people, I think they do often have a hard time with finding an identity. And I've heard this from several of them myself. And I've heard several people who are highly against biracial mingling say the same rhetoric. But that's not to say that these people can't identify with something or find people that love them You know, they're humans, just like any full-blooded race person, all right? Everyone's mixed with something, all right? Everybody's cut with a little bit of something. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I'm black, but I'm sure if I did one of them ancestry tests, I'd find out I got some other stuff in me that I don't know about. So, you know, everybody got a little bit of something in them, okay? My thing is, I'm not a racist, man. I don't care what you are. I don't care if you're mixed, whole, whatever, man. I just don't care. That doesn't matter to me, all right? Character matters to me. That's what's important to me. So if you're watching this, just know, if I don't like you, it has nothing to do with your ethnicity, okay? I will be dropping on Monday a video, my own spin on interracial dating. So look out for that. That should be a good one. Guys, I hope you enjoy this, okay? I am Dom Knight. This is Night Talks. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell. Guys, I will throw the socials right here. And if you want to suggest a video to me, just drop it in the comments, and I will react to it, you know? And I will give my honest opinion on it. Core Gray, appreciate this again, all right? And I will see you guys on Friday with some advice. Peace.
Rack it up, I got a bit of the bank to make me a safe house. Shake it up, she got her hands on her knees and she bringing the cake out. Smoke it up, I got some gas, some packs, I'm up in the greenhouse. Ball it up, I'm with the gang, we taking shots off the rebound. Fucking my post, the same now, I've been humble too long.